yesterday we took my dad out. It was so lovely. We've been worried about whether he would be okay going back into the care centre. So my sister was telling me the other day, she was sat with my dad at the care home, and a lady was walking around, and he turned around to her and he went, she should really be in a care home, which is so sweet. And he really doesn't realise where he is. So we were worried about if he saw the signs outside saying that it's a care centre, that might freak him out a little bit. So he started gently by me and my sister just taking him across the road to a coffee shop that was there. And we ended up having 2 rounds of coffees and cakes because he was just so chatty. And he sat down going, I've not seen a bus for years, you know. And so we kept him out and had a lovely coffee with him. And then because he went straight back in again with no problems at all, kept calling it his home and telling us where his room was and things. And we had a good drive out. My uncle used to do like tours of Manchester and stuff. It gave us a proper tour of where they grew up in Manchester, the street that they lived on in 2 separate houses, where they moved to after that, where they'd been working. Honestly, it was the coolest thing for us, and Dad was just popping up with all of these memories all over the place. It was brilliant. And then we went out for some food, had a nice carvery, and then took him back again, and he was pooped. He was proper pooped, but he'd had a good day. So, which meant everybody else had a good day. So that was well worth it. So we literally just came up here, got a little bit of work done. Got 7 tax returns on the go. Definitely getting there with that. And today I'm going to go pick my Starlink up from my daughter's house, go see them for a little bit before I need to leave to go up to the lakes because I've got an appointment up there. We've got to try and figure out all of that. Just seemed to be going bing, 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 bing. So if I could get up to the lakes, go see what I've got to do and actually just have a little bit of a chill time up there, even though there's going to be lots of work involved. And now it's time to get some editing done before I go see my daughter. So a roasting day today. I wish this weather would make its mind up. Yesterday morning I thought I was going to need the heating on. And now today it is sweltering. However, I have an exciting adventure to go on today. I found from everything that's happened with Dad and all this stuff, I've been talking with family a lot more about family. So as we did the magical mystery tour the other day, it got everybody talking. And my uncle said that he knew where his granddad was buried, my great granddad. It's off in because he used to live in Morecambe. So guess where I'm going today? 1 hour and 30 minutes. Who thought Morecambe sounds so far away, doesn't it? It's like, oh my goodness, that's like the seaside, that's so far away, but it's really not. It's like 1.5 hours. So yeah, so I'm heading that way. I may have to zoom right past it and go straight up for my meeting depending on what they say, but in the meantime that's where I'm heading, and I can detour off from there if needs be. So yeah, let's go. Right, I'm at a cemetery, so I've got to try and find, some of these look very old. I've got to try and find, I think it's the brown section. I'm spending far too much time in cemeteries lately, I must admit. Thankfully, that's a map, and the guy who pointed me to the absolute opposite end of the cemetery. I did get the impression that he was new because the other guy was telling him where to find all the things. So I'll get my step count up for today anyway. So I think I found it. And it's only because that chap gave me a map of like the shape of it all and then where the numbers are in respect to everything. Because there's no headstone if it is the right plot. No headstone, just more blooming brambles. Tell you, maybe that's the sign. Hey look, here's more brambles. Make some blackberry pudding. Yeah, that's a shame. And maybe we need to do something about that now. I know. I'll have a word with my family and see if there's something that we need to do. Even if it's just one of those you know, the marble pots with flowers in. Just do something. So I've just had a phone call back. I phoned the cemeteries thing because I'm thinking, just in case I've got the paperwork is old and it looks perfectly kept. I wanted to just double check what the case was in there. I just left a message, and then this lovely lady, so lovely, has just called me back and clarified some bits of information. So my great granddad's second wife, it was buried first, and then he was buried in there, but no headstone was ever put on the grave, so there's no marker. So I think just people are just wonderful. People are wonderful trying to piece all of this together. So I'm going to go. I've got to go for a walk. I think, even though I've just been walking around here, I was going to go straight to where my appointment is. That's now tomorrow. I've got a busy day tomorrow. But for today, I think I'm just going to go. I might have a meet you on Morecambe, to be honest with you, and see what I can go see around there. There's a couple of roadside park-ups. I don't mind because you get some nice views over the sea. Do some tax returns and chill out for a little bit. So this promenade in Morecambe is down on part for night. My goodness, this road is busy. So yeah, it'll be good for a daytime park up, but I don't think I'll be staying here. I will just have a quick scooch around Morecambe. I've got loads of time. It's still only like 11:40. You've got to mix a bit of playing, haven't you? You know, family history debacle and all the other bits that you have to do. So yeah, let's see what Morecambe's got to offer. Well, it is right by the sea, so it's not too bad for where it is, really, is it? It's nice. There's the Midland Hotel. Bye. The last time I walked down here, I was pushing my mum in a wheelchair, so we're talking more than 12 years ago. And I was just thinking that and thinking I have to stop being sad about everything because we had a lovely day. And I look down and there's this. And I'm a big believer in heart stones. I mean, this is a heart shell, essentially. But that was just there on the floor, waiting for me. So this is cool. It's got all of the hills and things on it, so if you kind of look more straight on, it shows you all the hills behind. That's quite cool, isn't it? I like that. Reminds me when I went to Tintagel and I went to see is it King Arthur? The sculpture that was on the thing on the cliff. When you get your picture with it, it looks absolutely brilliant, but in reality it is just absolutely swarming with people. So hey, and there's the man. There we go. He's got his old thing. Because look, there's make me happy. Bring me sunshine in your smile. And then, so they've really got a good thing for him. Love it. Well, into the Seaside, you see, normally I'd just buy all the tat and I would just literally be in all the tat shops. However, when I went fishing with Dad at Hereford, I lost two of my favourite ones that I bought from countries far and wide. And these do some really good ones, so I've just got some more spinners. Good prices too. So yeah, even though it is a fly fishing shop, they've got loads of other things in. However, this is Bruciani's. This is where my dad and mum used to come on dates all those years ago. I caught the sun again today. I need to learn. It didn't feel like it was that sunny because it was very windy. But yeah, I had a lovely walk around Morecambe. I did, and I enjoyed playing on the arcade machines and stuff. I love winning the tiniest bit of tat for all of my money. So I made my food and burnt my mouth, which annoyed me. So I was already a little bit annoyed. And it was one of those, okay, it's annoying, but we're doing things. It is to do with Dad's care again. It's going to be ongoing for a little bit, I think. And I'm not happy at all not happy at all with the care he's getting where he is. Like, I am almost livid. And my lovely dad, you know, it's awful. And then I come back to the van. I'm like, let's get some food. Because maybe it's because I've not eaten yet. I get a bit hungry, whatever. So I made my food. I had a chat with John on the phone, and then my phone rings. And it's the Scunthorpe number. So I'm like, oh, give us a second. Still not had my results from my MRI, you know. And it's the lady that was the team leader for my oncology records, or my whole, I can't even remember what she was classed as. But she literally was managing everybody to do with the oncology. And I'm like, why is she phoning me? Because it's nothing to do with oncology. This is not, I got the all clear for the cancer. This is all to do with finding my coil and figuring out why I keep getting these pains. And I'm just like, oh, so my belly was flipping like mad. So that was tea, just food just out of the way. And she says, oh, I just wanted to tell you, everything's clear. There's no evidence of cancer or anything. And that annoyed me. Don't get me wrong, I will take phone calls about being clear of cancer all day, every day. Literally, will do that. But why did she give me a call? So I just said to her, I said that obviously you can tell me that every day. However, that's not what the MRI scan was for. So she went, oh, is it not? And I'm like, because of all the fuss with not seeing the cyst and them not taking the coil out when they should have done before radiotherapy, and then they missed the cyst, and then, you know, got sepsis, nearly died. Just some little things. It kind of was I was getting worked up again. But she was lovely, so was just chatting away. So I said initially it's to find my coil. So I've just got to make a point of figuring out where my coil is and going from there, because they found it. Told her about the whole brachytherapy thing, where apparently my oncology consultant was yanking to try and get that out, but it was very embedded into my cervix, and he was doing this while I was knocked out. So then it became gynecologist's problem. So I told her that, and she's just like, right, okay, then let's have a look. Okay, we can see the coil. It is there. There's no strings. We can't see any strings at all. And we can tell it is very much embedded. So I'm like, awesome. Okay. Apparently there is fluid in my uterus. There is inflammation and fluid on my left fallopian tube. It was an afternoon of delights after that, because not only did she tell me that I am still at high risk of getting sepsis, which also explains why my white blood cell count and my neutrophils are literally right on the border of okay. They're in okay, but if I lost 1 point on either of them, I would be in the red. I am still high risk of getting sepsis because of that. So it's just like, oh no, nobody told me. My gynecologist just literally said, just keep an eye out for if you feel anything weird. You know, like last time, me feeling weird things was 40-degree temperature and pains everywhere, and, you know, getting massively infected. But so she said that, and then she also said that if they'd have persevered and taken my coil out while I was having a brachytherapy, that would have been better. A bit more painful for me in the long run, but better. They also said that when I was in Cornwall, less than a month after my radiotherapy finished, that if they'd have taken my cervix out then, if they'd have done a full hysterectomy at that point, even with all the infection, that would have been better, because I was on every antibiotic known to man anyway. So they were trying to figure out, so that wouldn't have been a problem if they'd have done that then. However, a year down the line after radiotherapy, so I'm still, apparently, I keep brushing it off saying, oh, it's been a year. And she says, don't forget, it's only been a year after radiotherapy. And radiotherapy, because it makes all your tissue friable, it then turns fibrous as it's healing, and it sticks to everything. So the chances are that if they want to do a total hysterectomy, that I'm at risk of bowel perforations and fistulas and all these other things that she was saying, plus infection, that all of this is a risk that I now have, because they have to take the coil out, because the coil is in there, and the coil is massive risk of infection. The coil could be causing all of this. Oh, get me panicky. Hang on. So the coil could be causing the inflammation and the fluid and everything in there because it's so embedded into my uterus. So yeah. So they did an MDT today, and how they got the results for that, which are useless results because they weren't even looking at the right things again. And then on Friday there's another MDT, and they're going to get the consultants involved, and they may even be getting a consultant from Cornwall involved to go through and see what best to do. But she said whatever they do now is going to be a high risk, difficult operation. So yeah, that's that. I want to crawl under a rock and stay there, I think. I don't know what to do myself. I mean, I've got a nice view. Don't know if you can see. I can see the sea. There's a plus. And, you know, everything else is getting sorted, so that's a plus. Hopefully. Just get a call back from social workers today about Dad. And then hopefully that will be better too. So yeah. Okay. Well, that is what it is. We'll find out Friday for me, and maybe later for my dad.